long-distance radar picked up a Hercules-class vessel that breached the blockade. Simply put, you are to get out there and destroy that ship. Good luck and Godspeed.
What will we do with the decent pilot? What will we do with the decent pilot? What will we do with the decent pilot?
Target is dead ahead. Engage.
That's not good.
Woo! Hell yeah!
I swear they never learn, do they?
Nothing like more flight time with a side of disintegration.
Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on 10 Minutes More or Less Ship Review, right behind me, the Aries, Starfighter, Ion, and Inferno. So let's go ahead and take a look. Let me tell you something real quick. When you see me looking around in game, that's not a trick, that's beam eye tracking doing the work. Its newest version is now in beta and completely removes the need for open track, giving you seamless integration between the software and the game. It's easy to set up, runs clean, and you can use it with a webcam, iPhone, or Android device. And it's only $30. One program, less overhead, smoother tracking. Grab beam eye tracking through the link below to support the developer directly and stop running multiple apps when you want to feel more immersed in what you're doing. All right, welcome back to another review, and thank you SerithOmega for sponsoring today's review as a high tier Patreon member and picking this as your ship of the month. This and the Inferno is a part of the Crusader lineup, and they are absolutely fantastic ships at destroying big ships. Now with that, thank you Archangel 8 as well as Zero Grav and What124 for joining me on today's review. I had a lot of fun with it, and to tell you all from the start, this ship right now is currently 100% a clone of the Inferno. So the Ion and the Inferno are exactly the same in every single stat except for the weapon. So we're going to talk about that very heavily right now and right here, and I'm going to tell you all the stats for these ships as well as, of course, my score. Now these ships are both $250 if you're to buy it on the pledge store, or if you buy it in game, it's 4,725,000 AUEC. Again, that goes for both of them. And and they have a claim time of 10 minutes and 18 seconds with an expedited claim time of 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Not exactly the fastest claim time for a ship of this caliber, but it's definitely not terrible by any means. Taking a look at the Ion, it does have a laser cannon outputting 4,721 burst damage per second due to that one size 7 laser cannon on it, the SF-7E. Now that cannon has an 860 meter a second round speed, which means it's going to be pretty difficult to hit your target the further away you are and the smaller it is. So with that, keep in mind that this ship and the Inferno are both best at attacking really large targets, something like a Constellation or a 600i or a Carrack or an Idris. You know, these are the type of ships that this thing can really benefit attacking. Now, the Inferno does have a burst damage per second of 4,380 due to the one size 7 SF-7B ballistic Gatling gun with a round speed of 900 meters a second. So again, it's got a pretty bad round speed. It means that, of course, that pip is going to be very far from its target, depending on what maneuvers the target's doing, or if that target's a really small target, like let's say a Hornet or an Arrow or something of that matter, you're going to have a really impossible time actually doing anything to them if you don't hit them in the first 2 shots, because they'll just get right around you and you'll never be able to recover from that. Now, you also have 8 size 3 Viper 3 infrared missiles and 12 size 3 Arrestor 3 cross-section missiles. Again, I prefer electromagnetic, so I'd probably swap all those out, and I'd probably switch around your missile payload to something maybe even smaller, so you can have something that's anti-fighter while you have the big gun that's meant for the big ships. But again, it just depends on truly what you're attacking, because keeping the bigger armament might be the route to go. Now, for the shield, you have had a big upgrade to these ships compared to the last time I reviewed it. You're now sitting at 18,480 bubble shield on both of them, with a total with 10.2% physical resistance and minus 13.1% energy resistance, as well as 83.1% distortion resistance. Now, on top of that, you also have 7,200 HP for your armor with a minus 15% physical damage and a plus 30% energy damage. That's not terrible for what this ship is, and it definitely adds to it because the health pool hasn't changed at all. You're sitting at 38,600 with a penetration physical damage reduction of 25%, a penetration energy damage reduction of 40%, and a penetration component damage reduction of 60%. So your health pool, again, it remains the same as it was prior. You have a lot more shield, and you now have armor on this ship, so it helps extend its survivability a little bit more, but it's still not a ship to go out there and fight against medium or light fighters, so always be wary about what you're going against. You might get a lucky shot or two with the Ion, but past that, if they get up close to you, you're going to have a real struggle. Now, in PvE combat, this thing, as well as the Inferno, both of them just do phenomenal. They hit the target hard, they wipe them out quick, and then you just go back and either rearm, or you have a laser cannon, so you just keep on going and going and going until you're probably out of water, like me on most occasions. Now, you also have a top SCM speed of 205 SCM, which changed a little bit from the last time I reviewed it, and a 385 forward boost, a 210 backwards boost, and a top nav speed of 1050. It's definitely not the fastest ship out there, but it's not terrible for how big and weighty this thing is and the gun that it's carrying. You do have a 37-30-105 pitch yaw roll, which is honestly miserable for a heavy fighter of sorts, as well as a 44-36-126 boosted maneuverability. Again, it's not good. If you compare this to like an F8 or a Guardian or anything else in this class, you're going to have a hard time beating any one of those ships if you don't get your hits right off the bat. Now, taking a look, you do have 48 flares and 5 decoys, as well as a total of 45 SCU of hydrogen fuel and 1.8 SCU of quantum fuel. It has a decent amount of quantum fuel for the role that the ship has, so I'm definitely not complaining about that. Now, I'm just going to tell you straight up, this thing, again, is phenomenal in PvE. Now, when you bring it out to PvP, you are there for a specific reason. You're attacking a big ship, and you're trying to either get its shields down and its armor gone with the Ion, as well as maybe causing some fires throughout the ship, or you're just taking that Inferno with the ballistic Gatling gun and ripping it apart from the inside. It's quite a phenomenal set of ships, but honestly, if they don't give any differences in stats, why couldn't we have just swapped the weapons out and just had one ship altogether? Now, in the future, I'm sure they will give big differences between the two, as they should have, but again, it's just too bad that they didn't do that yet. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the exterior of this ship. I have the Ion right here in front front of me with the Hosanna paint. This thing does have its full gold standard components pass, so maybe not like button wise, but it has everything else, and it's very easy to get up here and take a look at your components. Well, sometimes not easy to put them, take them out or put them back together, but you definitely have the access here on the top of the roof. So you just go ahead and go right on up, and you just look around for the buttons, usually on the sides. So you just got to look for those, and when you do that, you can open it right on up, which is pretty nice indeed. It's always nice to see a components pass on these vehicles instead of having to wait for that someday in the future, especially something like the Avenger. Come on, Avenger, get that. Now we also have a storage and a weapons rack at the very rear of this ship. I was hoping it was closer to the cockpit, but definitely not. We'll take a look here at the storage, giving you a total of 860,000 micro SCU. And then if you look at the weapon locker, go ahead and open that on up, and you do have this spot for 2 rifle areas, which is really nice. We'll go ahead and close that up here in just a second. Close that. Okay, so that won't close, but maybe we can close up the weapon rack. Let's take a look. No, but okay, you got the handgun area here. You got the total of 3, and then you got 1 rifle and 1 rifle there. So definitely not terrible by any means. Now, if we want to go ahead and close those, we'll just hop into the cockpit and do a close all command. Should take care of all that, including the one up there that I forgot to close. Now you just head over here to the cockpit and go ahead and enter the pilot seat. When you're in here, you'll notice this has a good Crusader fashion of having a great view out of the cockpit glass. Definitely no problem there. It's a nice looking area to fly this ship. You do have 4 MFDs. Your power systems are absolutely miserable though. So let's talk about what you can do to help benefit your power management systems. Number one thing, get rid of 2 out of 3 of your coolers. You don't need 3 coolers. Just put 1 Arctic military grade C, which is what it comes stock with. Just leave 1 of those in there and you should be good to go. You don't have to worry about anything else. It is able to handle the entire ship without the need of 3 of them. Now you also have, of course, your power plants, which are military grade C, and your shields that are military grade C. You really don't have to change any of these. These are already at a pretty good spot, but you could update the grades to grade B or A if you really wanted to, or swap them out altogether for stealth components, which is always a possibility as well. Otherwise, this ship is just as good as it usually is. Thankfully, they got rid of the charge mechanic on the gun for the laser variant, and it's just continuing to hit really hard against really big ships, which is great. This ship isn't supposed to go out there and destroy capitals by itself, but it is supposed to be used in a group setting where you have multiple of the Ion Infernos together, as well as fighters to support it and go out there and do some massive damage to the ships out there. Now with that, of course, my score still remains around the same. It's actually a little bit better now. Before it was an 8 out of 10, but I don't, use a 10-point system anymore. It's more or less an 86 out of 100, and that goes for both of them because they both are starting to gain their identity and role the further the game goes, as you'd expect from any ship like this. With that, let me know what you think of the Inferno as well as the Ion out in the comments down below. And of course, thank you for watching. You guys are all truly amazing, and I appreciate every single one of you. With that, I can't wait to see you all in the next one. If you're building a new PC, go through longshipindustries.com, a veteran-owned mom-and-pop business that takes pride in every single build. He built my personal rig, which you can actually see featured on the website. The care, warranty, and customer support are top tier. Trust Longship Industries for your next build.